If you're new to the channel, I'm a 44-year-old father of four, happily married since 2016. What are we now? Geez, coming up 9 years married. Unbelievable. My four kids, 21, 10, 8, and a fresh newborn. She is yesterday 1 month old. What a journey, hey? Honestly, never thought I'd have any kids, but here I am, four kids, and I just want to talk a little bit about that today, and some life lessons as a 44-year-old father of four. Now, one of the big things when you have kids, especially more than one kid, is the chaos, is the absolute chaos of it all. And if I'm being totally honest, there's a beauty in the chaos, an absolute beauty. You know, some days the house is a mess, there's shit everywhere, toys everywhere, kids are crying, things are happening, and oftentimes I can sit down and just embrace the feeling and love the chaos of it. I love it. Not every day is going to be the perfect, picture perfect, Instagram worthy day that you see everyone share. Those they're not even days, they're short moments of life that are, picture perfect, where everything's done, the house is clean, washing's done, the kids are in bed, you get a slight moment to yourself. And if I'm being totally honest, those moments suck. I want the chaos. If you've ever had kids and one of your kids have a sleepover, that feeling of being totally lost without them. It's challenging having kids, absolutely, raising kids. There's a lot to do, a lot to juggle with school and sport and your own life and giving attention to your partner as well. It's a lot, especially when you have four. And, the hustle and bustle of life with kids is, I gotta say, it's beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. And there's one thing that I absolutely can't wait is when my kids have kids and I become a granddad. I've always been really focused on creating a home life and a home environment that is a place to call home. I never really had that as a kid, and I want to, the house that I have, the environment that I have, we have a beautiful big house, pool, shed, big backyard, everything's tidy, and it's a really inviting, homely place. And my dream, if it's above everything else, is to have my grandkids want to come and spend time with grandma and granddad. What will I be called, I wonder? Granddad, grandpa, papa? Doesn't really matter, but I'd really love to have that moment. And I think when that does happen, and all my kids have kids, and we're all grown up, and everyone brings their kids over for Christmas every year and Easter every year, and I think I'm going to sit back in my chair and really give myself a pat on the back that I did it and I made it, because life's hard, life is challenging, and if you can get to a point of a moment like that, I know that's a moment I'm going to cherish, and I'll look over at my wife, give her a little nod, and give her a sign of appreciation that we did it, because that's our end goal, is to build a family unit that is strong, thriving, and supporting of each other, and want to be around each other. That's the number one goal for me, especially as a busy business owner, dad, trying to juggle it all. And it's a never-ending cycle being a parent. You've got when your kids are young, especially like mine is now with the newborn. We have bedtime stories, we have changing nappies, we have getting the kids in the shower and homework, and it's absolute chaotic. You got school runs, sport runs. Our two boys are supreme athletes. They have gym, they have multiple sports, and they've made regional teams, and that entails a lot more. Now, when I was a kid, I made the Queensland soccer team. I'll never forget it. I'd worked so hard. I've had to outwork everyone my entire life, and I worked really, really hard on this when I was a kid. And I was the outsider. I never had, I never had nice shoes. I had Kmart soccer boots, and I was a real battler. And I battled my way into a regional team, and then from that regional team, gave it everything I had, and got myself to a position of being selected in the Queensland soccer team. Could you believe it? At 14 years old. And, no hard feelings to my parents, but they couldn't afford it at the time. I never got to have that opportunity. So for me, I need to ensure I'm in a position to be able to give my kids those opportunities, whether they want them or not. Not all my kids are sporty. Some are academically smart. Some want to do different things, and that's fine as well, as long as I can be there to support them in their pursuit of happiness and what they want to achieve. That is the ultimate goal for me as a parent. And when you're a father, fatherhood truly highlights what being busy means. I have friends who have no kids, and they're busy, they say, but they're busy in their world. And when you have kids, especially as a business owner, or even two working parents, when you put kids in the mix, it's hard yakka. There is no time. It's all about your day is dictated to you by others. So it's important that you push for a schedule and make time and create time for things. Otherwise, you're going to find that 10 years goes by and a lot of things you haven't ticked off or haven't done because you just haven't planned them to happen. And if you don't plan them to happen, your life is going to fly by. So ensure you start next year and you map out your schedule for the year. Book in some holidays, book in some weekends away. Just make these things happen because time goes so fast. And before you know it, 10 years is gone, 15 years gone, 20 years gone. And you're going to feel like you've missed out on a lot. So book the caravan park, book a tent, take a drive, just do something. You have to book these things in because if you don't, time will fly by and you're going to miss it and you're going to regret it, I think. Now, a lot of life as a father of four is patience and prioritizing. So you have to realize that patience is a muscle and you have to work that muscle a lot. Of naturally being a very patient person, very understanding, but as time goes on and now we have four kids and some business challenges and things become a lot harder and busier, it's really hard to be patient in certain circumstances, but you have to realize that patience is a muscle and you have to work on it every day. The biggest thing I've found is to be aware. Just be aware. You are doing the best you can with what you have. There is no rule book when it comes to being a parent. Every single situation is different. Every child is different. Every situation they're in is different. Life has its challenges. There's no black and white answer to it. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you are aware of patience. You have to be aware of it. Now, when it comes to prioritizing, a lot of the times, especially from what I've found, is you're prioritizing family over personal pursuits. So it's really important that you find joy in the little moments because as a father, especially for me, where there is no plan B, it's me. I don't have any other family support from my end. My parents have long gone, so I don't have any grandparents to go. It's just us. It's me. It's all on me. So for me, it's always been about my family and creating that family unit. Again, my end goal is to create a place to call home that everyone can come back to home no matter what life throws at them when they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. No matter what happens, they can always call mum and dad and come home. And that's always been number one for me. But, life is busy. And as you push aside your own personal pursuits, it's because you're looking after the family unit. It's important just to take a step back every now and then and just appreciate what you've done and find joy in the little moments of the life and the world that you've created because it's beautiful, man. Now, it's also important to understand that you're sacrificing so much time and energy, and you're doing that because it's an act of love. You're doing that because it's from deep in your soul. You have no issue sacrificing time. I sacrifice a lot of time. I sacrifice a lot of energy. I give it all, and but your kids you cannot be coming home tired, angry about a bad day because your kids are only seeing you for that little snapshot. And they don't care if you've had a bad day. They don't care about what's happened at work. They don't care. You have to be strong, be a man, be the leader of that family unit, and understand that it's going to take a lot. Again, we go back to patience. You just have to be aware. It's going to take a lot of your time, energy. I mean, so many times, all the kids are in bed, my wife's comfortable in bed, everything's done. I've battled through my day, ups and downs of the day, and I get to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, sit on the couch, and I fall asleep in like 10 seconds because I've given the day absolutely everything I have, and I couldn't give that day any more. And you're going to sacrifice a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it's all in the beauty of love because it's deep from your soul. Now, another thing I want to touch on is the power of vulnerability. It's not something I've been great at. It's still something I work on every day, and I feel like it's at this point that we need to discuss is the importance of showing your kids your emotions and being open about your struggles. Now, when it comes to my kids, my eldest son and my eldest daughter, the two oldest ones were around when we had a lot of struggle. And it's interesting to know that, those two kids have been through and seen the emotions, the ups, the downs, where my youngest two, especially my third son, he hasn't seen any of that. He's had a life of, I wouldn't say luxury at all, I'd say a life of less stress and less challenges. My third son's been brought up in a beautiful home with access to everything he needs, and it's certainly a different life to what my first two grew up with, because they were there through the struggle, and that's happens a lot. And I think it's important that you have those discussions with your kids about the emotions that you have and the struggles that you have on a day-to-day basis. Your young ones may not understand it, but certainly my 20-year-old and my soon-to-be 21-year-old and my 10-year-old, I have these conversations with. Especially my 10-year-old being the son. He's the first son of the group. So for him, I feel like he carries a bit more weight because he is the number one son. If God bless, if anything was to happen, he's now the man of the house. And, don't put that pressure on him at all. He's 10 years old. I'm not going to have that conversation. But I do have conversations about my life, my thoughts, things I go through that I think are important for him to understand. And again, don't put pressure. I don't put pressure on him about being a man or having to step up because he's a kid, he's young, he needs to experience the joy of being the kid. But I think it's important that you discuss the emotions and some struggles that you have so they can relate to your life and just show a little bit of vulnerability, because vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength. And you're showing them that you are strong and you can fight through these little challenges as well. Now, further to that, prior to being a father, I was reckless. I was partying like most people in their 20s, dabbling with substances I probably shouldn't have, and doing things I probably shouldn't have. I was reckless. Again, I didn't have a family unit. I was alone. I was by myself. I was figuring my way in life as I got a full-time job and fighting my way through 16, 17, 18. It's phenomenal to think that what I did back then, I try and think of my kids at that situation. It's pretty daunting, really. But hey, it was a different time, and that's just what I dealt with. But fatherhood has definitely taught me the true meaning of love and compassion. And instead of thinking about truly being everything myself, it was all about me. I'd take my bag and go jump in a car, and off I'd go travel and sleep on the car, sleep at random houses, do whatever I wanted. Where once you have kids, you realize your whole life has changed, and your life is now all about care, love, compassion. And it wasn't really until I had kids where I really found that, because I didn't grow up in that environment. I didn't have that. I didn't know it. Again, you don't know what you don't know. So I was a product of my environment, and I didn't understand that. So it's all love in my house, all love and all compassion. When someone does something well, it's the whole family unit care, as we show support, it's all love. And I think that's important as I get towards my end goal of getting to a stage where I'm now a grandparent and I can show all that love, can filter it all the way down to my grandkids and hopefully, who knows, maybe great grandkids. But being a father truly shows you the meaning of love, compassion, acceptance, and focusing on life not being about perfection, because everyone has their flaws. Um, Certainly, my kids are no different. Some are exceptional at some things and not exceptional at others. And that's life. We're human beings. We're not all perfect all the time. We have flaws, but in our house we embrace those flaws. We support each other, and we focus on more that it's all about the love, and it's all about the journey of that person in the house, their life, that child, and coaching them, helping them grow through uncovering what they are as a human, and giving them every opportunity to be in a position where they can thrive. And some people are academically smart, some people are gifted in other ways. It's about trying everything. I encourage my kids to try absolutely everything, because you never know what you like until you try it. Um, One thing I repeat in my house is that is who loves oysters, and they always say no, and I always remind them that they haven't even tried oysters. So how would they know? So when it comes to life, I tell them try everything, because you actually never know. You might like the oysters, and I think life is no different when it comes to sport or work or anything. Just try it, because who knows what it might be. So there you go. So I don't know, it's just sort of a ramble there, but I'm talking about life as a 44-year-old father of four. The ups, the downs, the challenges, the chaos, the beauty, the end goal that I have. If there's one thing I can encourage you to do, it's be patient, enjoy the chaos, enjoy every moment, because I think there's going to be a time when you won't have that chaos, you won't trip over those toys, you won't have to pick up those clothes, and life is going to be really, really, really boring. And I'm dreading those days, if I'm being honest, which I'm sort of lucky that I have such a big gap between my kids, because my newborn now I'll still be picking up her clothes and cleaning her room in 20 years probably. So I have a life of chaos, and it's such a beautiful thing. Just embrace it, enjoy the ups, enjoy the downs. Life is hard, but life is beautiful. And we only get one shot at this. Once it's over, that's it. So it can finish in the blink of an eye. So I don't know, enjoy it, enjoy the chaos, enjoy the beauty, enjoy fatherhood. And if you're like me, focus on the end. That the end goal is then to, create a family unit, a place to call home, a place that everyone can call home, and come back and see granddad and grandma. So if you're still here watching the video, I appreciate it. Share your insights and comments in the comment section, and support each other and share your experience, because sometimes as a busy father of four, you forget to reach out to family, friends, and talk to people, and you actually become very isolated, like me sometimes. Here I am on a Sunday. I just had to do a bit of work, so catch up on a few things that I couldn't get to. While my kids are out doing stuff with my wife, I can quickly race around, get this done, and get back to the family to spend the rest of the Sunday with them and focus on family time, because that's what Sundays are for. Again, patience, create that family unit. That's what I'm focusing on. So there you go. Hope you have a great week, and feel free to reach out in the comments and share your journey of fatherhood, because it's really a beautiful thing, man.